You're watching America Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin here with Gabriella Layne-Avery from Strut Communications. We're talking about all things social media. I know you help business owners create strategic content. So you work really closely with business owners.
Yes.
They may hire you, you may consult with them. There's probably different packages that you have, right?
Yes.
Different levels of engage or how much you're involved.
Yes.
Because some people probably like, I don't know how to do anything, do it all. Right?
Yes.
And then some people might want to be a little more hands-on and just have you show them what to do and then they take it. Yeah?
Yeah, and I've had a lot of scenarios recently where people have internal teams or interns and because they want to be cost effective, but they still want to have strategic guidance to make sure that their team knows what they're doing, has a plan of action. So I've been working with a lot of people like that too.
I feel like, because I used to work for an agency and we represented businesses and brands around the country, but I found it to be challenging a little bit to not be boots on the ground for hotels, let's say. When I needed content and something was going on, I would say, hey, to the person at the front desk, could you grab this photo for me because I'm not there?
Yeah.
But to have somebody there that works there that manages and gets the content is pretty key, right?
Yeah, that's my best relationships are with clients like that.
Yeah, and then you can then guide them because there's strategy as to, you don't just need to shoot it and then post it, right? There's going to be a strategy behind it, but just get the content and then you can say, let's dole it out here and there.
Yeah, it's like, this is how you should edit it. This is how we should position it. This is a guideline of how to film it so it doesn't look crazy. Like just everything from the from the strategy behind the content to how to create the content. We just make sure that it's all clean, and even optimizing your platforms, because you'll be surprised how many companies don't have links in their bio, so they're promoting stuff and people don't know where to find it, or their names aren't in their profile, so people are searching their company name and they can't find their social media because it's not there. It's little things like that make a huge difference.
I was talking to another guest earlier this week about having a call to action too, which is, it's surprising how many people don't have them front and center.
Yeah.
Like at the bio in Instagram, you can have text there and then you can also have a link. And you can have a link tree, which is genius.
Yes, I love link trees.
But on their websites too, right? And places, it's appalling, really.
Yeah,
in this day and age.
Yeah, and sometimes people will say that social media isn't working, but it's your funnel isn't working. It's maybe your content is getting people interested, but they don't know what to do next. Or they go to your site and it's super slow, or it doesn't make sense, or the experience they're having on social media doesn't translate to your brand online on your website. So now all of those reasons could be the reason why it's not translating. So it's not always social media.
You're working on a podcast, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, because I was also talking this week about podcasting and how important that is. Now, talk to me about how you see podcasting fitting in for a business or a brand. Do you think it's something that maybe either guesting is the term I learned this week, guesting, or starting your own podcast for your business?
Yeah, honestly, this is one of my predictions for this year, actually, is brands becoming content creators. I think thought leadership and trust and authority are super important for consumers and customers and clients now. So both creating a podcast for your business where you engage in conversation and being on other people's podcasts are a great way to build that authority, take the relationship from social media to something that you more so own, and really generating a really long-term relationship with your customer and your community is great. And so I think that I've seen a lot of companies investing in podcasts and YouTube channels and really trying to cultivate an ecosystem for their brands just beyond Instagram and TikTok.
Well, and it was interesting because somebody was saying that the audience, or a guest was saying that the audience that listens to podcasts are going to be A, more invested, and B, actually possibly have more of the money. They might be the people with the purses rather than younger kids that are watching TikTok videos.
Exactly.
They're just watching and liking your content, but that's not going to translate into a sale necessarily.
Yeah, it has so many benefits. The first is SEO, right? YouTube and podcasts are great because it's helping you to come up in search in a way that TikTok and Instagram are catching up with, but it's still very, very much better. And it's also just a great platform. It's like a second date, right? It's the first date is okay, cool, this is cool on TikTok. But then when you get them to the podcast or the YouTube, it's okay, I'm really trying to get to know you.
And if you're in a niche, that's the way to go for sure. Because then you're going to have specific audience and you're going to have specific topics that the people who care are going to be invested.
Yes, they're going to be give me take my money. Like, take my money now.
I like this note on here, less dancing, more talking to the camera. So talk to me about that, because I'm assuming this trend of TikTok, even Reels, people that are dancing around, and I can't see another one of those videos. I really can't.
You're over it.
I'm over it.
I remember when I last came in person, we were talking about that. We were talking about how Instagram had announced that they're prioritizing original content. So I definitely have seen it happening. I think it's going to continue to happen, where people are trying to make more dynamic content, more conversational content, more content that is talking to the camera, showing behind the scenes, showing you in action. So just really having content that's original to you and your brand, which I think is great, because I think for you, you would have never done a dancing video, but now if
I might have, because I like to dance.
Okay.
My kids are dancers.
Love to hear that.
But I don't feel like it's my generation anymore, so I feel silly doing it. And I don't, if it's a silly, it depends on what it is.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's inundating the space, and it's getting in the way of some of the things that maybe are making me learn. Or, I mean, look, if it's Paul Rudd and Jimmy Fallon singing Teeny Weeny Beanie, which they just did, and it's very funny, go check it out. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But when they're, I don't know, it's just not necessarily, but for some people it makes sense.
Yeah, and I get it. Your concerns are very valid, whether it makes you feel uncomfortable or it just doesn't make sense for your business. Like, I work with some nonprofits, and their missions are very serious. And in what situation is someone dancing going to fit with an organization that is advocating for educational equity? Like, it's just...
It doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit. And so I think that this is a good space where if you want to do that, do it. If it makes sense for you, do it. But if you are an organization where talking to camera, educating, showing yourself in action makes sense, then now you have more options, and there's a more equal playing field now too.
And what's the concept of lo-fi content?
Lo-fi content.
Lo-fi. We're going to learn a new trending term here on American Trends. Lo-fi.
Yes.
Let's find out what it is.
Lo-fi content is literally just like, for lack of better terms, like low quality content, right? So we got into an era that
here
was
on our phone, right?
Exactly,
Which
right
matches
on your
my
phone.
shirt, by the way.
Right. You don't have to worry about it being like perfectly lit. You don't have to worry about it being like super high quality video and all this stuff. Like, people are kind of liking more like grungy, real content, kind of the stuff that your friends would post, kind of like a photo dump. I've been seeing a lot of this with brands where they'll just post a random series of very low quality photos mixed with some memes, mixed with a quote, mixed with like just chaos.
Yeah.
Just chaos, but because it's so authentic.
It's
the
authentic.
word of the past few years.
Yes.
People like it, and it's easy, right? Anyone can do it. So I think for this year, I think we're going to go back to high production by the end of the year, because people are also loving YouTube and podcasts, which is hi-fi, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what do you think about a mixture of things? Because sometimes, like, let's say here at the studio, we got to wrap it up, but sometimes we'll have somebody with a really nice camera, and then I'll be with this camera, my lo-fi camera.
Yeah.
And then I think, let's just post it all, and we're being authentic.
Yes.
The buzzword.
You just get it, Mary, because I think that's the key.
Did y'all hear that? Wait a second. Can we go back to that? I just get it. So we're just tell it to my kids.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
It's good to have a combination, right? It's like almost like, okay, yes, I get to see like the behind the scenes and what's happening, and then you post the high quality content. It's like, this is the official, like, and if you were really paying attention, you got to see everything that led up to it. So now you're getting like a full...
Now you're getting the whole thing, whole 360 up in here.
Exactly.
I love having you here, Gabby. Thank you so much for being here. It's just a treat. Gabby Layne-Avery, Avery, I'm butchering your name now. We're not that close. StrutCommunications.com, @Strut Communications on Instagram. And we'll be right back right after this quick break.